However, we are in it, and there is no way out for now. We hope for the best. And I condole also with the Southeast, my brothers, the Igbos, who lost some of theirs. I don't know whether it is totally Igbos, but 30 people were not mentioned, no tribe was mentioned. But it is a call to action for every reasonable mind. It's a call to action, honestly, because it seems like we talk more than we act in Nigeria. And the thing is, we can actually combat this as citizens, but the snitches among us will not still allow it to work out. There is a simple case of a community volunteering themselves, turning themselves into vigilantes, and having their personal weapons. And let's see the shit that happen again. Let's see the road that the bandits, the terrorists, the unknown gunmen will follow and go and perpetrate their acts. But let's behave as if we don't know what's happening. Let me go to the main topic, which is if Obidients would trust Peter Obi and Rufai tickets. Personally, starting from me, I'm not just not trusting that ticket. I'm not even subscribing to it at all. At all. Rufai is welcome to run in any political party that Peter Obi is or will be running. But having Peter Obi on the ticket and having Rufai side by side is it's already a danger, a red a red flag already for me personally, because the fact that you are good in some aspects do not negate the fact that you don't care about human lives. That's speaking about Rufai. Rufai cares so less about the poor. Rufai cares so less about people's lives, but he's here to say he's active. Of course, we know they say he's active. He's very proactive per se. But honestly, who will you be proactive for when the people are killed? And we all know that Rufai is a core religious fanatic. Anybody trying to use the Chetima case as an example, please just take it off. If you want me to run on a ticket that is not having fullness of integrity, please just allow me go back to my business and just stay. If the day that death come and picks me, let me know that I die. Whether it's the bandits that later kill me or anything, let it just happen, and I know it happened. But let me die with a clear conscience that I never ever contributed actively or passively in the killing of anybody, Nigerian or not. That is just what I pray for my conscience. I just want a country that works, but it's not everything that will slide for me. Personally, that's my opinion. Everyone can run with it, with anything they want. Some people are saying they want to dine with the devil so that they are going to shoot Tinubu off the presidency. Please, please, if the blood that is staining Tinubu's hands are staining only his hands, let them stain. I don't care if my blood is there, but if my hands are also stained with the blood of anyone, I will never forgive myself. Let him go and correct the mess he did in southern Kaduna, which is only very, very, very little. It's only what we know that we are even talking about. Up till date, what actually caused the death of Ibrahim Yakowa, the governor of Kaduna State before Rufai? What they said it's helicopter crash. Up till date, I refuse to believe that. I don't have other evidences, but I refuse to believe that it was an accident. I will never allow a murderer get close to power. For those who are saying that his time as president, and then who will be next? So if I pave a way accidentally or knowingly for Rufai to become president in the future, and then my Christian brothers get killed, and he sits and smiles, he opens his bottle of wine and laughs at it, he makes caricature of dead bodies, it will never happen in my life. The day Peter Obi brings up Rufai on his ticket, I may not support any other person for conscience sake, or I will look for an irrelevant candidate who I know cannot get up to 100 votes and throw my weight behind him. As long as at the end of the day, my conscience is clean, that whoever dies in Nigeria, my hand is not involved. Whether they die of hunger, banditry, terrorism, or whatever, that's just it for me. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I yield the mic.
Okay, Vin, you can go on now. You left before, so
can anybody hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. I've been here for some time now, and I did not enjoy how the direction this space is taking, so I decided to just bite my tongue and wait. Good morning from here. I came to this space because of the topic. Will Obidient trust Peter Obi at a Rufai ticket and 30 killed in Okigwe? I want to speak on mostly the ticket. My condolence to people from my state. I know the governor is handling it as much as he can. I will leave that to the operatives back in the state, in Abia State. In February 17th, 2025, I made a post, and that post is still in my timeline now. And I have to read here. I wouldn't want to post that on a Jumbotron. I said, politics is between Rufai and Peter Obi. If you go to my timeline, you will see it. It was posted on February 17th this year. I said, politics is wavering, is chameleonic, is murky. In political computation, is one for you, one for me. There is no emotional inclination, only political expediency. If we must topple Hulaba, then an unholy alliance. Let's play righteous in heaven. That was that tweet I made. It's still there with Peter Obi and Rufai. Now, why did I make that? A lot of things have been said about Rufai, most of which are true, most of which are false. Nobody can for sure, say that all that has been attributed to Rufai was true or false. I mean, it's all remain unstructured information, right? So, about when we talk about politics in Nigeria, a lot of people came into this whole thing with emotions and how they think things should be. But honestly, it has never worked that way. Nigeria has a structural problem, and it takes few who has been in those political arena to really understand what is going on in Nigeria. Many people on social media can come and talk about this, derail things, but the truth remains the truth. I knew Rufai 1998. In fact, I did my industrial attachment in Rufai and partner in Ongwan Sarki in Kaduna. So Rufai was my former boss. I knew him when Buhari was still the PTF chairman. Most of the job I did under Rufai and partners in 1998 was in Daura. That was how I came to meet Buhari, 1998, and that was where we did a lot of things on the primary school. Most of the projects that were done by PTF then. Rufai by profession is a chartered quantity surveyor. So I did an industrial attachment with him. He know who I am. So I know the man Rufai. Now, no one can doubt his intelligence. Nobody can doubt that. But when it comes to politics, there is something that we have to understand here, that you cannot pick the head and pick the tail at the same time. Is politics is a game of compromise. We have to have that at the back of our mind. I'm speaking to the Obidients now. You have to have that at the back of your mind. You cannot pick the head and pick the tail at the same time. It will not work. And if we look at the composition of the world itself, and within the time immemorial, from the Bible, from the Quran, from any traditional thing that has spoken about how the world has come to be, this world is not ruled by God. It's ruled by devil. Devil owns the world. That is I'm going to church after this. I'm going to mass this morning, right? But the devil, God did not contest it when the devil said, the kingdom of this world belongs to me. Even Christ then did not contest it. So let's calm down and understand what we are faced here, and how we can be able to even, define a roadmap to salvage the already destabilized.
I can't hear him. He's just speaking.
Sorry?
Continue.
So what I'm saying here is, if we look at where Nigeria is today, if for any reason any quote unquote righteous person spring up from like Nostradamus, came out, or from like what's it called, Melchizedek, came out from nowhere and just to clean up Nigeria today, it will take, our own generation will not feel the good impact of good governance in Nigeria. My own generation.
Are we still on?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, just go ahead. I don't know whose mic is on. If your mic is on, please turn it off. Vin, Oti, please continue.
So what I'm saying is, if we want to oust Hulaba, the projection we have to have is Peter Obi, and it's going to be a 4-year thing. It's not going to be 8 years thing. Let's look at the power rotation between South and North. There is no way. In fact, it is better for the Northerners to keep swallowing the bitter pill. I mean, we all swallowed the bitter pill under Buhari, right? 8 years of retrogression, 8 years of wastefulness. We all waited for it, right, to be over, hoping to have another Messiah, only to have somebody who was from beginning, who told us that he's going to continue from where Buhari stopped. People voted for him.
No.
People voted for the man who said he's going to continue from where Buhari stopped. And every one of us were there for 8 years, complaining, wailing, crying, praying, fasting, hoping that things would just automatically turn around. And then we had the opportunity again to get things right. What did we do? We got it wrong again. And now we're talking about the next person. We're looking for one righteous person that will come from, spring up like a mushroom and come up and just all of a sudden with a magic wand and just wave Nigeria and everything becomes good. That will not happen. So what can happen to us is, if we succeed in projecting Peter Obi and picking Peter Obi as the flag bearer, as the presidential candidate, whoever the North decide that they want to be the vice, let them have it. Be it Rufai, be it Shetima, be it Mod Ali Sharif, be it anybody, let them have it, because that will be the best we can have. That is the truth, I'm telling you guys. And then if the North waits, and after four more years of Hulaba, which is more likely to happen, they will take over. If they decide that Rufai will be their presidential candidate, there is nothing anybody can do about it. It's their turn. So it's either you have Rufai as vice to Peter Obi, or you have Rufai as a president sometime in the future. That will happen. Let's I don't know if anybody is listening to me. Let's dumb down that reality on our mind, on our head, that the South under Hulaba is spending 4 years of another retrogression, and then after that 4 years, it's only 4 years that is left. So if Peter Obi if we need a Southerner to complete the next 4 years, is either we choose Peter Obi or we allow Hulaba to continue. These are the two choices. And then it goes back to the North again. Then they will decide to project. By then, Atiku is old He will be bedridden, or God forbid. But it may likely be this Rufai that you wouldn't want to be a vice that will end up being the president. Rufai is the face of majority of the North. Their politics is not all about righteousness. Their politics has been the Arewa 10. That's the fact. Nigeria, we should get this, we should know this and know peace. So if anybody come on space here, I appreciate, I respect people's opinion. But let's look at opinion and facts. Let's look at what politics embodies. It's chameleonic. This political thing is wavy, is murky. There is no righteous person in. I mean, look at what we're having here in the United States. It's the same thing. People think that their fortune, people think that their future is anchored under one man, and then the man comes on and bamboozles everybody and start using that same position for his own good. It's happening here in US. It's happening. Everybody's shouting, both those who support it, both those who doesn't. Everybody's shouting. So Nigerians, I understand how we feel about what the perception we had about Rufai. I understand. And who among us is even righteous? When I came to this place, many faces who were here were people who defrauded us during the movement. Many people here. It's only few people that you can call today and offer them on this space today. I've seen only very few that you can call today and offer them money. They say, no, I stand in better Nigeria. 99% of people here will take that money and say to hell with Nigeria. So how then do we turn around? We want to look for a righteous person that's just somebody who is blemish, somebody who will quote unquote blemish, whom we all can just believe in that he's coming now with clean hand. He's gonna just wipe away the rot that is being embedded in Nigeria for time immemorial. That is not gonna happen. That's not being fair. We're not gonna get it. The finest we can get so far is where we are. Peter Obi, we all committed to making sure that this man come to limelight. We all did everything we did. Even when we were doing that, a lot of people on this space, they were cashing out. There are some faces I see on this space that has left me out of this whole space thing for a very long. Throughout this year, I haven't been here because it's comical to come on here and look at some people speak of good governance, speak of integrity. And I'm looking at people here with their dossier I have on my hands, what they did during the movement, people who were cashing out. I'm looking at it here, I'm like, are we really serious? Are we just here deceiving ourselves and wasting our time? So we can try to wrap our head around the fact that we are in a very bad situation. We certainly don't have so much choice. In Nigeria today, we don't have so much choice. The court has been bought. National Assembly has been compromised. Every institution that were built, that were instituted to help Nigeria succeed or survive, it's been decimated. So what else are you looking for? France is holding Nigeria to jugular. US is, Tinubu is a known US spy. It's there. What do you think? What game do you think we Nigerians, the world don't give a damn about Nigerians. They don't give a damn. If look at what is happening in Nigeria today. A lot of people, 30 people killed today. Yesterday was how many? Killing and killing and killing. Has anybody from outside the world, the so-called slave masters that we all run to every time, has anyone said something about it? Because they don't care. What they care, initially it was crude oil, and then they got crude oil in abundance and they abandoned Nigeria. Now it's just to destabilize Nigeria to be able to harness what we have in the Sahel. It's not even more about what they're getting in Nigeria. It's when you destabilize Nigeria, you destabilize Africa. That's what the game is. It's not so much so what they're having in Nigeria. And then look at what is going on in Zamfara State. They built a makeshift airport, a makeshift runway where they cut gold from that region. They don't give a damn about us. I don't know how long it will take us to realize that these Western people, be it US, be it France, be it they don't care. They don't care. So it's either we all wake up and take the bull by the horn, and then we start draining the swamp, or we just keep hoping that US will send a drone to come down here to US don't give a damn, and America cannot fight any more war. They can't. We have more war going on in America within us here than sending troops outside to fight for. They don't give a damn. So if we can arrange, if we can have that compromise that Peter Obi and Rufai, let it be. The president has so much power. Nigerian president is the most powerful in the world. Where is Shetima? Shetima is vice president. Where is it? What is he doing? During the time of Buhari, what did Osinbajo did? The so-called righteous man, what did he do? So let's get the head first. Let's get the president first. If we can. Let's not think of getting the head and the tail and everything in our pocket. That we may lose all. So that's just what I want to, that's the voice I want to lend to this topic. That's the voice I want to lend. We can't get it all. Is either we get the head or the tail, but we can't get head or tail. I'll yield.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Oti. I think we have Whitaker Chef. If he's not ready, Chino, so you can go on.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, let me do like the other guy. Can you hear me?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, Chef, please wait. Once not so is done, you can go on.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. First and foremost, let me commiserate with the killings that happened in along that Okigwe Road in Imo State. I just saw the post shared by Grandmaster. I didn't know the extent of the atrocities. I never knew that life. I saw the post some days ago, but I never knew that life was lost. So I saw the post. He posted something about Amnesty International condemning the attack, and this was what Amnesty International actually said. Amnesty International strongly condemns the vicious attack of travelers yesterday, 8 May 2025, along Okigwe Road in Imo State, killing at least 30 people. That is really, really horrific. 30 people is a huge loss of life, and burning over 20 community vehicles and trucks. The act was allegedly carried out by IPOB ESN government, shows callous disregard for the sanctity of life. So, like I said, the people that perpetrated this thing, I hope that the rot in hell. I pray that the worst form of justice is meted on them, and they end up, receiving eternal damnation. Like I said, like they said, like Amnesty International said, it was carried out by IPOB ESN government. Look, I've been saying it before. You see this IPOB and ESN thing. They can deny it as much as they want, but the whole world knows that most of these acts are carried out by them. And there's nothing they can do about it. They can keep on going about saying it's not our faction, it is Simon Ekpa's faction, it is this faction. But like I said, and I've been saying in many forums, the parent group, the people that actually started this ideology, it started from Nnamdi Kanu. And then the members under him just took it and ran away and ran along with it. So whatever happens, they'll keep on holding IPOB and ESN responsible for this attack. But it's based on an ideology that was created by Nnamdi Kanu. So I would advise them, all these IPOB supporters, but they are now on the defense. Because when they see something like this, they'll now go and be attacking Amnesty International, attacking BBC, attacking CNN, saying that they're not the ones, that they want evidence, that they are the ones that they should provide evidence that it was IPOB that was behind the attack. You guys will keep on defend. Tire. The way terror group work is this: nobody has time to start saying is it which faction did this or not. The whole international organization will keep on apportioning complete blame on IPOB and ESN terrorists. So to me, the only solution you IPOB members have to clean yourself is to totally dismantle this thing called IPOB, probably from on that group, and then create a new brand ideology behind that group that has and the first ideology you're creating, that you're going to completely renounce anything that has to do with violence. But you see that name IPOB ESN, Nnamdi Kanu, it has been tainted with shame, it has been tainted with dishonor, it has been tainted with terrorism, and that is something you can never change. in this world and in the afterlife. So it's something you should just learn to live with for the rest of your life. Like you will keep on being on the defense because more people will keep on pointing, accusing fingers on IPOB and ESN because that is the ideology that was started by the parent group. So our advice to people, the way PDP at some point you are thinking of changing their name because they thought their name was, was maybe related to maybe bad governance. Then that's the same way I'm advising people to also change your name, change it to something else. We create a new group, and then start from ground zero to build it up. And then the first thing you need to do is that you start an ideology that renounces anything that has to do with violence, intimidation, or telling people not to come out because if they come out on this certain day, you harm them or you kill them. And then anybody that is going to lead that group will not go about inciting violence in any radio broadcast. That is the only way you can wash your hands clean. But like I said, I'm sorry. The whole world knows that IPOB, ESN people are the ones doing this, and there's nothing I can change about it. That's the truth. I've been saying it. I said it before. That was yesterday. That look, the way terror group work is this: Boko Haram has factions, but nobody's talking about the faction. They all regard them as Boko Haram. We have the Al-Banawi faction. We have the Shekau faction. The Al-Banawi faction, their own ideology is let us just attack military and policemen and probably infidels. The Shekau faction said no. We want to attack everything attackable. We attack the Muslims, we attack Borno people, we attack the Kanouris, we attack the military, we are attacking everything. Right? But in the end, all of them are summed up as Boko Haram. Nobody's asking which faction did this, which faction did that. Same way with Hamas, same way with Al Qaeda. They all have different factions. But the way it works, that nobody has the time to be going through a brain trauma to start keeping tags of all the old factions because they know that terror group, when you form a terror group, they break into different, you see fringe elements that feel that, oh, look, oh, we need to be more extreme in our ideology. So you have a situation where people are breaking out, becoming more extreme. So let's say you have like 50 factions that break out of IPOB. Who has the time to start keeping tag of this one is BLA, this one is PDP faction, this one is APC faction of IPOB, this one is PDAPC? Nobody have that time. So automatically they will characterize all of you people as IPOB because that was where it started from. That was the cradle of the group. So I want this thing to really, really sink into your heads that all people from moving forward, you are always on the defense. All you keep on doing is going to Twitter spaces. Maybe you go to Amnesty International space, you go to BBC space, or you go to CNN space, or you go to Trump space, and be defending why they are saying that IPOB are the ones carrying out this attack. You will keep on asking for evidence, and nobody is ready to listen to you. And that's the way it works. So you guys should completely dismantle that thing you guys created, that beast, that monster. Completely dismantle it, and then rebrand yourself, and then completely renounce violence to show that you're completely departed from the group that you initially supported. That is my plain advice. Thank you very much. Now going to this P2B and El-Rufai ticket of 18. So the thing is this: El-Rufai and P2B, let's be factual. Both of them are effective administrators when you are governors, and even in public service. When El-Rufai was there as the head of the Bureau, I think it was Bureau of Private Enterprise or something like that, he was a good administrator. But what differentiates them is that while P2B is an effective administrator, he's also a compassionate administrator. But El-Rufai, yes, an effective administrator, but he's a vindictive, he's a highly vindictive administrator. He's kind of person that doesn't forgive, that speaks his mind, even though it comes in a very cruel form, that goes against his people that he feels are rival to him, political and all something. He doesn't mind dismantling their political capital. That's the kind of person he is. Now, the a little bit of similarities I see between the P2B and the El-Rufai again is that in the south, P2B is loved completely, and in parts of the north. And then there's some in the core north, they still have their suspicion about P2B. I think they've not decided. It's like the trust ratings or the trust level of P2B in some certain quarters in the core north is still slopey. It's like, it's not like as solidified as it is in the south, the southeast, and part of the southwest. So he has that issue trying to like hit up his favorability ratings in some part of the north. Likewise, El Rufai, I feel his trust rating is kind of rising up in the north as we speak because it's now and he's getting more sympathy votes because he now seem like the lone horse or the lone wolf because he has left the APC and the north has the way they feel about the APC. So maybe right now they are feeling that look, this person is trying to do something different from the APC and he's a northerner, he's a core northerner. So in a way, I feel his popularity is kind of is on the increase in the core north. But in the south, he doesn't have that trust level. He's really, really struggling with it. And there are reasons for that. There are lots of reasons for that. It might be based on what people have heard him say, his utterances, his actions, and all those things are justifiable. Same way P2B also have the same trust issues in the core north. Also based on what people perceive by his utterances or his actions, whether they are wrong or right. And that is one thing with politics is that what I believe is right, because maybe I follow the news and this is how I see things. It might be different from what somebody at the other end of the divide sees it. They might see P2B probably like maybe that video he had, that call that then the call he had before the election day that was released, which we are still in doubt whether it was really authentically P2B or whether it was edited or something like that. They might have their doubts with relating to that, and also based on some propaganda that was pushed on P2B when he was governor, which we know were clearly lies, that he gave northern people ID card, which it has been disputed that it never happened in Anambra State. It happened in Imo State. But like I said, it has grown into their minds, and it's not something that you can easily just erase like that. But it's something that they always had in the back of their head for years and years. So you don't expect it to just be erased within. So the two of them, like I said, they have their how will I put it, their positivities and they have their negativities. So I might say I do not want El Rufai because of what I know about him. Me, I'm an obedient. And someone in the corner might say, I do not want P2B because see what I know about him. So what do we do in this situation now? So in a way, like I said, to win Tinubu is going to be a very, very hard task because of the way we see the way he has brought the judiciary, he has brought the legislator, he has the executive in his pocket, he has all the whole tools of the executives in his pocket, and he's now getting politicians to the camp from different parties into the APC.
No, so you have less than 30
Okay.
seconds.
Okay.
You know, you've
Okay,
done 10
just give me
minutes.
like a minute. Let me just now. Of recent, we also three PDP KB state senators that defected to APC. So now, the solution is this. I feel the both of them in a way. If we are to like win the 2027 election and get rid of this APC, which have been causing lots of suffering and hardship to people, that I hate to say this. This is the hard truth. Some people might not like the hard truth, but who knows? I feel at this point they might need this. They might actually need each other to make this thing work. I think they might need the confidence of the South and the confidence of the North and the core North to actually get this thing. So at least we'll have a more better chance of actually grabbing this power of it, whereby it will be more of a people, with the people against this PDP, APC thing happening right now and the alliances. And that's the truth. PDP will actually need some votes in the core North to ramp up his popularity and make it even difficult for Tinubu. And the way he can actually wash himself in that light is probably having an El Rufai by his side. El Rufai probably too, but also needs like maybe a P2B. So also in a way, I think try to make him look a little bit manageable in the eyes of the South. And that is politics for you. There have to be a compromise. I don't know how it's going to be, but that compromise is not it's something you cannot just like overlook.
Okay.
So, like somebody said, the VP position
All right.
is not something that is so relevant. The most relevant one is the person heading the ticket. And if P2B is heading that ticket, then I don't think anything wrong with the compromise. Thank you very much. I yield the mic. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Nonso. Chef, you can go on.
All right. Thank you very much. Host, uh, my greetings to everyone listening and those that have spoken before me. I really want to thank everybody, for the opportunity to air my own opinion on the topic that is here before us, which will, for me, all I want to speak on is will Obedience trust Peter Obi and RFI ticket. Well, for me, as an obedient, a core obedient, because I am one of the people that when the I am one of the people that started this, as among those that are giving a lot, on this movement of making sure that people be heads to Asura, starting from when we did our 1 million man march, in 2022, when we are asking the PDP to help us and bring the P2B, for us, so that he can be in a good platform for the presidency before he moves to Labour Party. I've been following P2B even when he was being invited to platform, this government Christian Center Church. I'm a core follower of P2B, and I've been opportune to hear him speak even on forums when he was invited for Media, where he spoke along with the likes of Professor Soyinka. So, and someone who so much believes in Peter Obi, and I believe what is capable, what he will be able to deliver to Nigeria whenever this opportunity gets to him. So, coming to the topic with Obedience trust Obi and Erufai, for me personally, I would like to, if it is possible for these two gentlemen to come together to head the coalition towards 2027, I'll be the happiest person, because I believe it will be in this South has the people's backing. Many people this side of the South divide, they knew what P2V is capable of offering. And going to the North, the apart from Atiku, the next person that can put a lot of crowd from the North is Rufai, because the way I see Rufai is I see him as the next person that is going to command the North after the likes of Atiku and Buhari has passed, he's the next in line in terms of pulling crowd from that aspect. It's just like the way Obi is on this side of South divide. So I would like if I would be happy to see the coalition that will give rise to people be heading the flag, being the flag bearer, and Erufai being the vice. I think that is a combination that will be that the PDP, the APC people will likely sit up and say, well, man, this one is a big one. So, like yesterday when the picture came up online when Obi and everyone was having a discussion, I was so glad, and I'm praying that if both gentlemen can come together to head the coalition, I'll give my best both in terms of campaigning and whatever it will involve. I'll be there, because for me, I know that the problem that most obedience are having with Rufai is the fact that when he was the governor in Kaduna, a lot of killings happened. A lot of killings happened. And one thing I believe is that, yes, those killings happen, which is very terrible, because, for people to lose loved ones and all the rest is a terrible experience that nobody will wish on anybody, even your enemy, because death is one of the worst things that can happen to anyone. So for him being as a governor, seeing all those atrocities happening under his watch and not being able to do anything to defend the part of the Kaduna South part of in place. And for me, and the blame should not only be for him, because he has a president that he works with, which is the overall commander in chief. So if we are looking at, if we are using that to judge Rufai, we should also be judging the kind of person that he was, as a governor under. Just like Tinubu is the president now, and we have some terrible challenges in security. So those challenges, those criticisms should go both ways. It's not only the state governors, because most of them, they don't have all the armies and police majorly under them. It's under the president that can take action. So I believe if the people which are behind the making of presidency in Nigeria, which I know that there are some major power brokers in Nigeria, both whether they are retired or currently on active duty or politics. But I believe, I know from some conversation I've had when the 2023 election was coming up, I know that even before Tinubu was choosing in the APC primary, I've had someone from my former office where the person was saying that no matter what happens, they should forget that the power that be, they have already chosen Tinubu to be, the president. That all the things that the Obidients and not the rest are doing that. So I was like, I wanted to go and meet this person that was making that call, somewhere. I wanted to go and meet him that, to know the kind of person he is and the place that he had that thing from. But it was an office something, so I couldn't go. But I keep on hoping that what he said will not turn out to be true, you know. But at the end of the day, with all the magomagus and all the rest of things, Tinubu emerged, you know. So from there, I was still hoping that what that guy was saying should not be true until when the election proper that, that took place and all the things that really happened for them, and at the end of the day, Tinubu became president. So that thought is still on my head even until today. So in essence, what I'm saying is that if we can put
Jeff, you
emotion
have 1 minute
aside,
to round off.
okay, that's what I'm saying is that if we can put our emotion aside and hope that P2B can combine with Rufai to snatch power away from APC and Tinubu, I believe Peter being the president has what it takes to reset this country and set it in the path of development that every region is and is yearning for. Because Peter B is a man that has empathy and he understood what an average Nigerian citizen is passing through. So he's not going there to, toe the lines of previous governments and all the rest, like all the nepotism and, appointment of one people from, one region and all the rest. I believe P2B coming in as the president has what it takes to reset this country, and whatever they come up, whatever they decide to, we should give him that support because he cannot stay outside to change the country. He has to come in there, and whichever means he's going to take to come in there, we should give him that support, so that he can come in, and then we can see what he will do. But I believe there is no way that P2B will not do better than Tinubu or Buhari. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Jeff. So I think Ewoma, you can have your time now.
Can you hear me?
Okay, Patrick, you can
you hear
go.
me?
All right.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, Patrick, go on.
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So glad to join you guys, and thank you for giving me the privilege to talk. The truth is, I will not really talk for a long time. I've enjoyed all the contributions so far. And going straight to this ticket for the Will Obedience Trust Peter Obi Rufai ticket. The truth is, that was about 5 days or last week. 5 days ago, last week, I think, I already made a post about it on X. And for all the reasons which most of you have already highlighted here, um, I'm not fancying Rufai going to Aso Rock. The reasons most of you have already highlighted, no need to dwell on that, especially regarding how he was on power and all the killings happened, and there was nothing he did about it. And someone also said here, I think Yusuf, I enjoyed your comment all through. I don't know if you're still here with us. And your stand actually is what I also believe in. I second almost everything you said regarding this whole issue. And one of the things you said, if I can recall, about or was it you or Vin? Sorry, I think it was Oti that was talking about what the Northerners believe when they have power is about the Arewa agenda. That has been there for immemorial. It's not even now. So it's not about debating it or discussing it. Everyone knows that. So the point is this: we all know what P2B stands for, and we've seen Rufai as a governor. We can now feel or have at least feel what he believes, what he stands for as regarding the presidency, or what he will do should he have power in his hands. So that is where I know majority of Nigerians are having this fear about Rufai being attached to Obi. This what we're discussing here, if you take it, I'll do a poll outside Nigerians, you'll see they'll also express this fear. But I think OT said a lot of things that I think I'm beginning to buy. Before now, I wouldn't have bought them, but I think I saw some reasons he's trying to give that a vice is just a vice. Little or no power is attached to the vice. Generally, yeah, that's what we want, and that's why we don't want to see Peter be going for any vice position anymore. Let him go straight for the presidency. And if we can see what Oshibanjo in all his wisdom and everything, he had nothing to do. Even Shetima is as silent as anything right now. Everything is Tinubu taking the whole shot. But we know that definitely, if as it's been affirmed that Rufai is like the face of the North right now, and who is, I think the Northerners are trying to anchor all their wings on Rufai. So if he's attached to Obi, then something might fly. But I want to make a position, my own personal position, please. It's just what I'm about to say right now. This is what I believe, and this is what I stand for. It's been long that Nigeria got divided. What I mean divided is we used to have northern and southern region. Please, let's not deceive ourselves. We don't have that anymore. Nigeria has been divided into 6 geopolitical zones. And right now, you can see what's springing up. The Northeast Development Commission, they've inaugurated that of the South Development Commission. All the regions are beginning to develop their commission, are having their commission right now to show you that Nigeria is long gone as regards North and South. We have 6 geopolitical zones. Why am I saying this? The politics of, Bola is a southerner. Obasanjo was a southerner. Goodluck Jonathan is southerner. That is just politics playing out. Let's just forget it. And that's what these politicians use to just still bring our minds back that, hey, we must know how we are going about this power division thing. What we have now is that Tinubu is southwest. Obasanjo southwest, Goodluck Jonathan south. The southeast is yet to rule. So if the politics of should Obi come, perhaps, peradventure he comes in 2027, he should just do 410, not because it's a southern thing. Hell no. We will not do this. See, that's just politics. We don't want it. He can't just come the brightest politician we have right now, the most intelligent as we speak, should not handle only 4 years because he's a general southerner. No, I don't believe that. Personally, I'll preach it, I'll crusade it everywhere. He is now southeast. Southwest is doing theirs, and they've done theirs before in person of Obasanjo. South did theirs in person of Goodluck Jonathan. This is southeast. Nigeria is no longer operating on 2 regions. We have 6 geopolitical zones, and that is what it should be anchored on. So perhaps if for any reason Nigerians might want to let this ticket fly, it should be that a Southeasterner is coming for the first time ever to taste that seat. If possible, let him get his own 8 years, because how can we just allow the brightest to just for the mere fact that it was in southern thing, and have just 4 years, and then we have those who have no meal, they don't mean well for this country, they don't have any belief in this country, they just want their own personal gain. It's their turn to rule, and they celebrate 8 good years, and then the brightest of them all should be given 4 years because it is just southern thing. No, please. I think if we are to crusade this, let's put it at the back of our mind that we don't operate on the 2 region. We have 6 regions, and whoever comes in enjoys his 8 years. And if a Southeasterner will mount it with his Rufai behind him, I don't. If that will be the only reason, then he should enjoy his 8 years. If after that, there will Rufai is thinking of assuming the presidency, fine. But I believe by then, both of them very intelligent. I give it to them. They must have built a Nigeria that one might just enjoy for a very few period, hoping that possibly if Rufai takes over from Obi after 8 years, then we not know how he takes it from there. But please, let us not celebrate or debate. We're talking about Obi coming for 4 years, our brightest politician, as we can proudly say right now, celebrate just 4 years. I think it's making us, I don't want to use the word dumb, I'm sorry to say that, but it's not bringing the best out of us if we are to discuss that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. No comment on the Okigwe incident.
Well, I've always expressed my sadness over killings, be it anywhere, even water. That's why I started with that, or the Southern Cardinal. Anywhere it's going on, and security agencies are not doing enough. The people of that region are not doing enough. It saddens me how life that is supposed to be the most sacred thing is being neglected and left in the hands of anybody. Nigeria right now is one of the safest places to live in. Anybody can just go. The next minute someone is gone, and sad that in fact is nothing to write home about, as a matter of fact. So it's really, I saw the information and my heart bled really. And all I can only say is that people must begin to rise up in the area of security. I was even discussing with someone on X the other time as regards even what's happening in the North Central and all that. So the people must begin to rise, because leaving our security in the hands of these security agencies, knowing fully well that they've been politicized, it will take us nowhere, will lead us nowhere, really. And I don't know if they are celebrating it because the numbers are dwindling due to death, crimes, criminality, and killings and everything. Numbers are dwindling yet. Maybe they just want these numbers to reduce so that they have less people worrying them as leaders. Very, very sad, very, very pitiable situation. But I've always said it right now that regions must begin to build a security network. Communities should begin to have their own security outfits and take care of themselves, take care of their communities, and not leaving it in the hands of security agencies that we know will do nothing in the name of politics.
All right, thank you, Patrick. I mean, that was awesome. So I think we have New Nigeria. Can you go on, please?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Oh, happy Sunday. So let me just go straight to the point. So concerning this whole thing, talking about Peter Obi and Rufai ticket, I personally, I don't mind. Peter Obi will be the president and Rufai will be the vice. Rufai can't dictate for Peter Obi. We all know who Peter Obi is. He's a man of principle. If that is what will get us there, it's fine. And if it will not get us there, let us search for another person. Like this, my brother that you all spoke now. I like what he said so much. You know, I've been hearing some people saying that Peter Obi should just do 4 years and hand over to the Northerners, that the Southerners have done how many years that they not have to meet up with them. So me, I don't buy that idea. The southwest of from Obasanjo to Yaradua, from Yaradua to Jonathan, south, from Jonathan to Buhari, north, from Buhari to Tinubu Southwest. This is the first time that we want to produce a Southeast presidency, and people are saying that it should be 4 years. And this man, among all of them that I just mentioned, none of them is as bright as Peter Obi. Then you now say such person should do for. Let for me say, if he get there, if it's possible, let him rule forever till he die. I will support it. That is just it. So my own is that as we are talking here, we should also be doing our work on ground. We have to be meeting people, educating people in the rural areas, because a lot of people don't even know what is in the rural areas. They don't know what is going on. So we need to be educating them, be putting our own resources. We don't have to wait for anybody. 2027 election is about the survival of this country. If we allow this thing to slide into the hand of Tinubu again, we are done for it. So let us put in our work. And concerning those that are just killed in Benue State, Benue killing, I don't know. Instead of the president and
No, the killing
the state
actually
governor.
happened in Imo State.
Okay, in Imo State. Sorry, I'm just saying it. In Imo State, this killing has been, in fact, it's the whole country, not just in Benue, Imo, and this thing. This one just happened today or yesterday. I don't know. Okay, yesterday. The security force, I don't know what they are doing. I don't know. And to me, the military, they are trying their best, but the president don't care about this nation. These people, they are just there for their own personal pocket. They don't care about this nation. And this is one of the reasons why we need to chase these people away. Look at the way they are killing our brothers and sisters everywhere. Only this year, they have killed thousands of people in this country. Before the end of this year, we'll still hear more. Next year, nobody know who is next. We can't continue this way. And may the souls of the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace.
Thank you, New Nigeria. I think Patrick said something about zoning. I think the argument from the PDP side is that there is zoning and there's micro zoning. So when you say you have 6 geopolitical zones, that's when you start doing micro zoning. But for the zoning arrangement in Nigeria, it's just north and south. So I don't know if you want to speak to that. So you disagree entirely with the micro zoning thing, that the PDP was shopping around the last time.
Okay. All right, thank you very much for bringing me back. And this whole thing, like I said, is just politics matter. They will only bring up these two regions, north and south, when it's borders on something that can just give them what they want. Then when you now talk about something that will benefit other regions, immediately they try to bring up this micro zoning thing. Even when the last PDP, was it honored? PDP initially, remember the Asaba declaration that almost caused problem everywhere. That was in 2021. Yeah, 2021. All the heads of PDP, National Working Committee, and the National Assembly members, everything from the South, we went to Asaba and they came out with their communique that they're not going back, that the election is going to go, though that of PDP, though, that the election, their candidate must be from the South. That gave APC some goosebumps. But when they now came back after I think after the primary, okay, no, before the primary, that is when the problem, PDP now set up another internal committee to where would it actually be zoned to within the South. And after the committee agreed that it should be to the Southeast, that is when the politics between Wike and others started. And of course, P2B had to leave, knowing fully well that it's not going to work for the Southeast, right? And then the politics now came that it should be general South, and at the end, Atiku had to spring up that unless they are leaving it for the Southeast, which we know that he's yet to take power. But if it's going to be General South, he doesn't agree with that, and he too will contest. You see where all those things led us now. And look at where we are today. Those micro zoning thing is just political, just to make it the divide and rule system. Where did it start? It was even the Northerners that brought it, just because they want the South to be devolved apart. They don't want them to be strong to counter the North in anything. It started with not Midwestern region. It was divided. That no, we have the West, we have the Southern region. The Southern was further divided to bring in South, South, and Southeast. And that all that was done to make sure that the Southerners are not strong enough to tackle the North. Now, why the Northerners are bringing this North is not
Patrick, I think we can't hear you. So
being set up across these regions. So that must stand. So if they are talking about PWB, remember Yasado, we should be the one to tell them, all of you started this and we are taking the toll from it. We are buying it. You can't just say here generally South, and then when it comes to other things, you say no, Southwest, Southeast, South, South. Excuse you. Don't take us for a fool. These people are just playing with us, playing with the emotions, playing with our intelligence, playing us as dumb people. So we should not tell them that. For God's sake, let's not forget. Let's put politics aside. P2B remains the brightest chap we have right now that can turn things around. Even though not everything, I agree, he cannot change Nigeria overnight, and so that's why we shouldn't celebrate 4 years for him in the name of let him just grab it. No. Buhari in his life and everything couldn't give us what did he give us? I can celebrate one of the things he did for Nigerians generally, but it lasted 8 good.
Patrick, I think we're struggling to hear you. So so if there's anyone who'd like to speak, I mean, you can request the mic. We'll bring you up, so you can share your own opinion. So, Patrick, are you back?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go on.
So I should go on.
Yes, please.
All right. So I was saying that this micro zoning thing was a political gimmick, right? That is what they also use just to be destabilizing the country. They only bring it up when they know they want something benefits for themselves or for the particular persons or group of persons. So they have already made this country to be 6 geopolitical zone. So we are standing by it. Let's not allow them take us for fools, make us feel dumb and all that, play on our intelligence. They have made this country, it was a divide and rule system that was applied to make the Southerners not to love themselves more, right? Now we are taking it that, fine, it has come to stay, but let us also share it when it comes to justice, fairness in terms of governance and presidency. Ordinarily, this north and the south region would have stayed for many years now. But we know when this divide and rule system started, especially before the Civil War, some of them divided. Then after the Civil War, it was further divided from Midwestern region to Midwest, to West and South, Southern region. And now we now have South, South, Southeast, and Southwest. It has been divided. And when it comes to about development, as money started being shared towards some of these Southern regions to develop them because of what they are suffering due to the oil they are producing, the Northerners also complained, and now it was divided too, North Central, Northeast, Northwest. So why would they just bring it all those when it comes to money sharing, block sharing and all that? Then when it now comes to presidency, you say no, you now want to merge everybody North and South. No, see, they're just being fast and smart about it. But we should tell them that no, you on your own make these demarcations. Now we are also taking it at all levels. For God's sake, we can't, Nigeria cannot boast or be proud that its brightest chap right now as a politician should handle 4 years just for the fear of making the Northerners always having their way and all that. No, the Northerners will always rule. They're always the big boys. They always want to rule. They will always rule. But when it gets to the Southern now, especially Southeast, let that person rule. We have seen Tinubu. At least with all this, I am coming, it's my turn, and all that, we've seen him. Nigeria is still retrogressing. In as much as I can still stand to say that he's done one or two good things. Yes, I can name them. But then you can see what he's been doing. And if our brightest chap right now, Nigeria's brightest politician should mount that seat, it shouldn't be for 4 years. So that microzoning thing PDP brought, they know why they brought it when it should have worked for them, but they allow politics to cave in and mess it up. So we shouldn't toe that path at all. The best time that microzoning thing would have worked for PDP was Obi, but even the PDP themselves faltered. How would you allow you have an opportunity to make him the president, you allow politics coming, and even when they set up that group, they set up a committee to zone it to a particular place in the in the south. And when the committee said it's going to be the southeast, in the spirit of fairness and justice, the Wiki battle came in. We know what Wiki had to do, made all his movement, and said they should make it open to all South so that he too can have a shot at the primary. And at the end, the likes of Peter B left, right? He too, he had to break out, knowing fully well he had the G5 on his own side, comprising of even two governors from the southeast. And the PDP were all there. They saw all this happening, and now they lost out, and they want to still bring in microzoning. No, hell no, they've missed that opportunity. If this coalition happens, my best bets, if Rufai is going to lean on Obi, fine, but they shouldn't celebrate 4 years for Obi. I don't think Nigerians will be proud. I don't think they'll be happy about that. Let us allow the brightest man so far to shape on this country. You look at all the indices as regards development, GDP and all that is going down. And you want a man, a full-blown economist that can handle this system to come and just do 4 years and he's out again. And where will he have the chance of the contest to complete this 4 years? It's gone. So let it keep away this microzoning thing. What we have now is 6 geopolitical zones. If he has a shot, let him enjoy his 8 years. The better thing is Nigerians will have that fresh breath for the first time since 1999. Is it a bad thing to ask? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. The other thing, that's a bit worrying is that Peter Obi himself was the one that brought up the idea of a single term. He said that he preferred a president that will just do 6 years and go. And then Kenneth Okonkwo, his right-hand man, came out and also said something similar. It's just that Kenneth said that he would prefer 4 years. The P2B was saying, I'd like the law to change so that a president can just do 6 years and then retire to his village or God knows where, So we'll cycle back to you, Patrick, but let's have Mr. Strong, weighing on the topic. Hi, Mr. Strong.
Hello, good morning from here. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
All right. Greetings, everybody. Yes, I'm trying to air my opinion on this debate that's going on about war obedience because of Rufai's track record that nobody can hide, and it's actually it should be very disturbing to someone like Rufai that we are having this debate because his name is being thrown up for the high office of the vice presidency. It should be disturbing to him that people are like seeing themselves between the devil and the deep blue sea because of the situation of Nigeria. So honestly, it's very scary and very disturbing to even have this conversation. But it's like situation has boxed us into a corner that we seem not to have ready options. I will use that word, ready options, for this, and that's why looking at this, I want to. I will say I've listened to people, and most of the people agreeing to this is out of desperation. It's really out of desperation, because if Nigeria is half good as it is today, half, I don't think people will be this desperate to want to look the way of Rufai for the higher position, knowing that the most likely thing that's going to happen is that whether PO is there for 4 years, 6 years, or 8 years, it's very likely that he will take over the position of the presidency. And I want to give it to him that for some reasons he has this popularity in the north, for some reasons that we all know, because we know how the politics of the north is played, and he's good at stirring up people in the direction he wants them to go, using his normal rhetorics. Unfortunately, sometimes that are extreme in nature, and we wouldn't shy away from saying that. So, but we are here, but just to remind Nigerians and people making this call, in 2015, when they said Jonathan was bad, Nigerians were desperate. We know how APC, kind of hyped everywhere, caused commotion everywhere, by the words, unspoken and spoken words of some people in Nigeria. The bombing and the things that were going on put Nigerians on a very desperate situation, and that made people who had brain in their skull think that Buhari was an option in the 21st century to lead a country. Now, every one of us understand where we are today, that singular move that APC made us make in 2015 is the foundation of the problem we have today in Nigeria, out of desperation. Secondly, I have raised this question with some people. There is something I see, before I say that, there's something I've seen in the Nigerian political environment that I think political advisors in Nigeria take advantage of. I've seen that in Nigeria, you can do whatever you want when you have power. Do whatever you want. After you leave, even the very Nigerians that were on your case, so to speak, while you are doing those things, after some years, those things just disappear in people's mind, and they begin to count that person as a normal person again. And sometimes begin to look up to the person for some, magical intervention or whatever. The person, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm going to be very frank. The person of Rufai, his track record in Kaduna gives me PTSD whenever I remember it. And somebody is talking about him possibly one day becoming the president of Nigeria. I'm saying this because I know this is an open space and I don't know who is listening, but this is my candid opinion. Now, so much happened in Kaduna under his watch. No explanation, nothing. And that's one point. The second point is, why is Rufai with us today? It's simply because APC sidelined him. If APC did not sideline Rufai, will he be with us today? And I'm sure, let me not say I'm sure, I think the reason they sidelined him is because of who they think he is. They took him in and he did the job for them. And they understand that, hey, we cannot work with this guy. And from day one, they pushed him aside. Rufai and the people that support him should ask these questions. Rufai is one of the persons that influenced the North to vote. That's for the few that voted for.
Mr. Strong, you can continue. Sorry, I think it was.
Oh, sorry,
okay.
sorry. I didn't know. I don't know why you cut me off. What last did you hear from me? Can you remember what last you heard from me? Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Just a few seconds ago.
All right. So I was talking about Rufai and how he worked with APC and APC pushed him away. So the question is, why did he work so hard with APC, and when they started their government, they pushed him aside? There is something.
Why they brought him, took him out after they won the election, the Tinubu camp.
All right, yeah. So I'm on course. So these are questions I'm raising because there's something my people say. They say an old man does not learn left hand at how to use left hand at old age. A man does not learn how to use left hand at old age, and they say the leopard does not remove the spots on his skin. We know the nature of this man we are talking about. We should not look away from that. That's one other question I'm raising. Another question I want to raise is that if for the sake of argument, we have another government tomorrow, not Tinubu, who becomes worse than Tinubu, will we go back? Will we go to Tinubu and ask him to come and help us rescue us from the person? These are questions we need to look at very, very well. I know the situation in Nigeria is so biting that people will kind of not mind going into partnership with the devil to deliver Nigeria if that is possible. But let's look at the future. Who is Rufai? What has he stood for all his political years and political career? How does he see Nigeria? Does he see Nigeria? Does he see every Nigerian as Nigerians, or does he see people more Nigerian than other Nigerians? These things are not going to suddenly disappear. These issues are things we have to sincerely raise I just responded to one tweet from Nenadi News. I don't know if she posts that news herself or someone does that. And the person said that we should look at Peter Obi and Rufai, and we should forget our emotions and face reality. And I agree with that. One guy also, I think Chigos here, posted that that he is surprised that people who have Shetima as vice president are kicking against an Rufai vice president. I asked Alex or Chigozie, is there any other thing you're looking for in this thing? When Shetima came up, was it like we cheered and clapped and received him? Did the two win the election because of how wonderful people accepted that candidacy? And that's the same thing I'm asking Nenadi News. You said Tinubu and Shetima won election. Did they actually win the election, or have we been lying to ourselves that we were rigged out? Or now that the chips are down, we are now turning and saying all manner of things because we want to defend our stand to accept Rufai. I mean, you can sell Rufai with other reasons, not that because Shetima is there and they won the election. That is very dishonest. And that is very deceptive. And that tells me that these people, I don't know what you're looking for. Tell me any other thing about Rufai, I can listen to you. Don't tell me Shetima is there and they won election. Which election did they win? Or have we been lying to ourselves? So I've said all this to say that, yeah, we should look at things, and where this thing will lead us, in my opinion, is that we should make demands. If Peter Obi, whether he's there 4 years, 6 years, or 8 years, if he gets to office and there's not going to be what do you call it, devolution of power, taking away all this overreaching influence of the federal government on other parts of the federation, if that is not going to be achieved, then we run a risk that after Peter Obi, what will come on Nigerians, you will beg for Tinubu to come back. I'm saying it pump and play. Rufai is smart. He's very intelligent. Unfortunately, he uses it in the way he wants. He is Buhari, but with enough brain to do things that will shock you. And we all know this. Let's not pretend we don't know. We know this. So if there's going to be the regional government, the government is going to be structured in such a way that we will never have a situation where someone will sit in Abuja and control everything that happens in my village that is not even traceable in the map of the world. Then I'm comfortable, anybody can be there. But if Nigeria is going to remain, the center is going to remain as strong as it is, so that someone can, with a stroke of pen in Abuja, change everything that has been done in 4, 6, or 8 years, guys, we have to be very cautious. So if we're going to this, whatever you call it, whether union, there must be written agreements. Like Trump or hate Trump, when he was running, he spelled out everything he was going to do. And that is what we should achieve before we go into that election. We should say there must be regional, we should strengthen the regions. We must spell it out and put it on paper so that when Peter Obi starts implementing it, nobody will say, you're betraying us. I'm not even sure that when we put it on paper that people won't oppose it, but let's just get it written so that we have a basis to fight if need be. if anybody goes against it. So I just want to throw up the things so that we reason along, and as much as we are told to forget our emotions, when we think we are using our reason, let it not be that reason is actually the emotion, because people call whatever they want to call. They call reason, they call the emotion, and when emotion, they call it reason, just to throw you off balance. Let us not be actually emotional in grabbing this man without thinking of the implication in now and in the future. That would be my little contribution for now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Strong. So, just to play a little of devil's advocate here, you know, uh, this actually wasn't. This isn't the first time Rufai is being placed under the hot seat. Placed on the hot seat. To answer questions. Regarding the insecurity in his state. I remember 4 years ago when he was asked, and he said something in the line that these skirmishes they've been going on for the past about 40 years. So, and what usually happens is a Christian man from southern Kaduna is arguing with another Christian man, a Muslim man in the area. And instead of the people to resolve the issue, it becomes a tribal thing. And by the time you know it, it escalates. And that they've been struggling for the past 40 years to resolve this issue. So it's not like something that came up during his own administration. So I think Grandmaster wants to say something. So Grandmaster, please go on.
Bros Ike, you're still here.
Yeah.
Anyway, I came up to ask Mr. Strong just a question, and then I will, expand on it when he answers. So, Mr. Strong, you say something about, they should put on paper, whatever they are going to, implement when they get to power, quote and unquote. And I agree with that 100%. And I don't think there's ever been a time that Peter Obi has never put to paper what he intends to achieve. But I mean, as a coalition, the game is going to be different. But you said one of them should be regional. I think you said regional government. Am I correct in this?
What I mean by that is that essentially power should be devolved. Power should not concentrate at the center. Any form it can be
Yeah.
regional, however we deem it
Okay. No,
best.
no. I
But
got what you mean. That's called regionalism.
yeah,
So, I don't think this is my submission that this is something a president should be involved in. A president doesn't decide if a country returns to regionalism or not. That is the job of the National Assembly. And since the National Assembly is the representative of the people, there will be agitation from the people demanding that they want regional governments. And then the National Assembly members will now draft it as a bill that will be passed. Yes,
Let
I
us
know that
imagine
the
Nigeria.
presidency. Sorry, sorry, did somebody say something?
No, nobody. Go on.
Okay, all right. I know that on the norm, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the presidency can introduce a bill, to a very limited extent. Um, or is it, I forgot how it works again in Nigeria, so I need to check again, or through members of the National Assembly. But at the end of the day, you understand, regionalism is a restructure of the system. I don't think this is something a president can just come up and decide. You understand? I don't think we will, P2B want to run uh, an authoritarian government that decides on at a whim what they want to do, and then the whole country will have
Grandmaster,
to.
can I ask you this question so that you continue with that to help
Yeah,
me?
go ahead. Yeah.
Now, my question is, yeah, I agree with you, people. I agree with you. Your point. That's a norm. That's where the National Assembly understands and plays their role in a normal democracy, right? That's how it works. But we don't you agree? Wouldn't you agree with me that in the Nigerian situation, if the presidency is reluctant about it, it is very difficult even for the National Assembly to do anything, because they will find a way to make sure it doesn't work. Because the idea of devolution of power is not restructuring, so to speak. It's not something that we are hearing for the first time. It's something that has been there. But we have not seen any courageous president say, I support this, and work with the National Assembly, push the National Assembly, quote, if possible, quote and unquote, blackmail the National Assembly to work towards that. Don't you think that situation is real in Nigeria?
Like I said, I feel like this is not places where presidency, can dabble in. This is not issues presidency can dabble in. The powers of the presidency is still limited in as much as they make it look as if it's absolute. The powers of the presidency is not absolute, and we want to run a democratic country where each organ of government is independent in its own sense. Issue of regionalism is a restructuring of the Nigerian system. This is not an issue that a single individual decides. Yes, he can maybe try to, bring up that discussion, or bring up a platform for Nigerians to start having that discussion, or ask for members of the National Assembly to take such a critical issue to their constituencies and have the people discuss about it. And if possible, a referendum will be carried out to see what the people in each region, you understand, or in each state decides. Maybe at the end of the day, the overwhelming number of people in the states will say that this is what we want. But it cannot be part of the presidential campaign. It's not possible. The president cannot restructure the country by himself. Yes, we have dictators, you understand, and we have presidents or people who go beyond what is obtainable, like Tinubu. You understand? Just as the way he appointed a sole administrator in what do you call it in River State. That is way beyond his power. As the what do you call Nigeria Bar Association, I think it was said. In fact, one of the reasons why the Nigeria, I think it's Bar Association or whatever it's called, but it's one of these lawyers group, right? Is moving their conference from River State to Enugu State. It is a protest against that sole administrator that was appointed in River State, because initially the convention was supposed to take place in River State, but in protest, they cancelled it and said that they are not going to, encourage such blatant disregard for the rule of law by even trying to carry out that convention there. So it is way above beyond the boundaries or the what is obtainable for the responsibilities of the presidency. So I don't think this is something we should come and burden Peter Obi with. If Nigerians want restructuring, which I am a big proponent of, and regionalism, which I am a big proponent of, I think this is a discussion that should be brought up by members of the National Assembly, not necessarily what do you call it, the president. Now, the second one I wanted to say is this. I feel like we do P2B a very big disservice when we continuously bring up issue of P2B with Rufai next to him. P2B, as it stands today, he still has to market himself to every section of the country, right? I don't see any other person bringing up this discussion. It is only the so-called Obidients that keep bringing up this discussion. Even the APC members are wise enough to tread carefully and cautiously with such issues. PDP members don't say anything about this. But every Ekemake day, I see Obidients bringing up P2B and Rufai. What a wonderful ticket it will be. Me, I don't care about your reverence. A very smart politicians, you understand, will be very cautious the kind of utterances he makes. Will be very cautious not to, not to maybe upset his what do you call it, his voter base. And I don't even think that Rufai wants to be involved in anything election in 2027. I don't think he has ever even shown any interest in this. Even Rufai himself I think he has even said that he's not interested in running. So let's just please allow this story to rest, because it's a continuous disservice when we keep on bringing it up. I heard A.O. Yusuf's submission, and I was touched by it, because he's a guy from that part of the north. I think he's from the northeast, but I think his people may cut across what is called the middle belt today, but they are in the northeast, right? And when he was speaking emotionally as somebody who has been affected by these things. So I don't think that, we as Obedients will come and continue to bring up such topic, even though this thing is not a reality. Nobody has brought up the issue. In fact, there's not even a coalition existing. And we keep on talking about Rufai. This thing, people will just use this. In fact, the APC as it stands today is very much happy if we continue to mention Rufai in discussions. Because just as it stands today, you understand, some part of the middle belt, in fact, a large chunk of the middle belt is beginning to warm up to Tinubu. And the more you keep on mentioning Rufai, the more you're going to guarantee that you will lose those people, right? You will lose those people. Yes, I know that Rufai is a heavyweight in the north. I don't know to what extent, according to what I heard, that he's a heavyweight in the north. But as it stands today, I don't think issue of Rufai is something that should be at the front burner. Let's just please, let's not overstretch this issue. There will not be a Peter Obi Rufai ticket. Let's just not overstretch it. If there's going to be anything, right, it's going to be a consensus amongst the Northerners who they are going to bring out. And I'm sure, hell sure, that it's not going to be Rufai. Another thing I want to say is that I think that instead of us engaging in, hypotheticals of, Rufai is going to come and everything, and in turn, turning people away or turning people off from a potential, because honestly speaking, I feel like if the opposition were to manage the situation, properly, we are going to witness as a nation the second instance where an incumbent is removed from power democratically. Because as it stands today, everything is working against Tinubu. You understand? From running a government based on lies and propaganda and fake information, to impoverishing Nigerians, to not having a grip on the economy despite all the things they are saying that they are doing economic reforms, right? To the insecurity in the country, to even the so-called North, which played a very major role in bringing him to power, giving that hint that they may not 100% support him again. Yes, he still get his vote from some part of the North, because there are still those who are still very much party loyalists. But that does not mean that he's going to get it the way he did before. If you look at the results, the outing of Tinubu in the last election, Tinubu is the only person who has been elected in this country with about 30% of the votes. And his outing in the southern part of Nigeria was very poor and abysmal. That is why you see him aligning and realigning in the southern part of Nigeria. I think we should focus more on understanding what is exactly going on as it stands today. Election is barely 2 years, right? And what we are seeing is that we don't know if there's actually an opposition existing. We don't know if the coalition is going to come up or it's not going to come up. We don't even know which party P2B is going to run on. I'm hearing Arabambi and some people from Labour Party say that they are planning to expel P2B and Alexoti. And don't for a second think that this is not possible, because there's somebody who's paying the piper. And they are going to bankroll these people to ensure that if they want P2B out of that party, and in fact, they may even do it at the last minute to frustrate P2B. They will go and occupy all the major parties, ensure that P2B, if he leaves at any point in time, that he will not find any party that will pick him up as quickly as possible, any prominent party. Because what you don't want to do is to start doing what we did in 2023. Start creating awareness all over again amongst Nigeria about a new party, about this. Is going to be stressful, right? So let's first of all understand what is P2B's next move. He has not given us any hints that he even is going to contest, right? Is he going to be a Labour Party? If he's a Labour Party, is he going to have a grip of the party? Because it is very important that going into an election, and P2B says that he wants to run a Labour Party, he needs to have serious and complete grip of that party, so that what happened in 2023 does not repeat itself. One of the reasons why we did not have polling agents across the entirety of the country was because, number one, Labour Party refused to let ordinary Obidients pick up the task of going to man the polling unit for them by giving them the tag and the registration they needed. They refused, because just because it's an old party, they are trying to protect their interests. They refused. Secondly, they didn't start, pulling people to come and do the polling unit agent work for them on time. By the time, I think it was shortly before the deadline. So we are not going to have this thing repeat itself again. Or a Labour Party that doesn't know what campaign is. Yeah, it's ordinary people that is just doing the campaign for them. So P2B must have to have a complete grip of the Labour Party if he's to run as a presidential candidate. Because I remember that initially, what's the name of that guy? Abure. At the very onset, I think that was in 2023 or something, he said that Peter Obi is the automatic Labour Party candidate, presidential candidate, in case he wants to run. And then sometimes last year, they went to Abuja and took it back and said that anybody that wants to run for presidency will have to run for primaries, just like any other person. And trust me, there's no guarantee that if Peter Obi ran for primary in that election, in that party, for as big as Peter Obi is, there's no guarantee that he's going to win it. Because people can easily go into that team, buy off all the delegates, use money to buy them off. You see one unknown person, they'll tell you, oh, this person is an old Labour Party member that has been there for thousands of years. And the person will become the presidential candidate. And what does that leave Peter Obi? You don't want to start, creating a new party. So what I'm saying is this, I know that it's just a discussion we are having. It's not as if I'm trying to tell people what to do, but it maybe after today, maybe we'll just bone this thing. You understand? People like Nenadi Usman, these are cloud chasers. And I'm very, very surprised that you guys do not know who cloud chasers are on this app. You understand? A lot of these people have zero interest in what happens to Nigeria. They are only out for the likes, you understand, and the money. The reason why is because you will never see them having these discussions in rooms where people are having these discussions. You will not see them there. You will never see them there. So they are just cloud chasers and they will say and do anything to pull attention to themselves. I don't think they should be the spokesperson. I don't even know who the Nenadi Usman was before. These are people that just popped out of nowhere, assumed names that were popular and started using it to, pull weight left, right, and center. Meanwhile, the people who are doing the real groundwork, case in point, this A.O. Yusuf that just spoke in this space. If you know what this guy did in the last election, especially in the Northeast, that Gombe area, you understand? If you know the level of work somebody like A.O. Yusuf put in that area, you understand that he is the person we should more likely listen to than people like Nenadi Usman, who are just cloud chasers looking for likes and then follow. So I just wanted to just say that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Grandmaster. Just to clear things up, the Nenadi Usman is not you're talking about is not the caretaker chairperson, right?
I don't know who the person is. I just know the person popped up on the timeline and started posting about obedient stuff and all these things. She's the one that always posts. I think she's a Trump supporter too. She was the one that said she went to to Washington during a Trump inauguration to go and observe on behalf of Obedience. I don't know who she is, right? If she's somebody that people know, please, I'm sorry about that. I don't know who she is. I know only my people in my inner circle who we all did the obedient movement thing with. The rest, I don't know. I just know that a lot of people popped out of nowhere, became famous overnight. In fact, there was this other girl that popped out of nowhere, assumed the Monica, you understand, that she was using to speak about Tinubu. And then after like 1 week or 2 weeks, she had massive following. She changed the name, you understand, became somebody else completely. I started tweeting about things completely unrelated to obedience or even the movement. So that is just the game. The game is the game. And I'm never gonna play.
Okay,
I'm not gonna hate the
Grandmaster.
hater. It's just the game I'm gonna hate,
Grandmaster. I think as Nenadi was once a finance minister in Nigeria. I think so. Am I correct?
No, yeah,
Mr. Strong, I'm not saying that Nenadi is not a real person. I'm saying the account that is
Okay.
using the
Okay.
Nenadi
Okay.
Usman.
Okay. 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 I got you.
Yes.
I got you.
I don't
All
even
right.
think it's the person, yeah.
Let me host. Would you allow me respond to some of the things
yes, please go
he
on.
raised? The first one is that I'd never suggested that Peter Obi is going to become a dictator and change things all by himself. But one, I know how politics works in Nigeria, and we must live in the reality of where we live. The truth is that even in normal democracy, when a party is coming up, the presidency, the National Assembly somehow does this kind of believe that somehow the National Assembly is going to have a majority from the ruling party. At least that's, for the most part, what we have had in Nigeria. So in a situation where we have Peter Obi, Rufai, or whoever, whether Rufai or no Rufai, whoever, and they have a National Assembly majority, and they agree to work towards this, and everybody's on board, presidency, National Assembly, it makes it a whole lot different. It makes a whole lot difference. So sorry. So that is what I mean. I don't actually mean that, oh, Peter Obi is going to come and decree that power should be, should be decentralized. Of course, he can't do that. Of course, he will not do that because he is a Democrat. He is someone that goes by the rule of law. But what I'm saying is that I need, that's in line with the argument about Rufai. Like you said, we shouldn't talk about it. And I agree. The sense to which I agree what you are saying is that people from that region will be like, they may kind of say we are demonizing someone they respect so much, and therefore this or that. I agree in that sense that we should tone it down. I quite agree with that. But the truth is that it's in discussion. People are talking about it. And like you referenced the APC, APC is not going to come and tell Obedience or suggest to us or decide for us who and who are going to carry our tickets. I don't think they are coming to do that. PDP is not coming to do that. It's Obedience and Labour Party. If Peter Obi is still in the Labour Party, that will still make that decision however we want to make it. So I don't think APC and PDP has any say about this. They are not going to talk about it. Yes, like you said, they will be listening. They will know how that will, whether we do it right or wrong, how it's going to impact on our chances in 2027. I agree with that. But on a closing note, I have never insinuated that Peter Obi is coming to use a dictatorial power to do anything, but that if the incoming government, the presidency, sets this as an agenda they're going to pursue and mobilize the National Assembly, I think things can be done. But if we don't have such agreements, especially if we see it as a protection for the future, no matter who emerges to be president after Peter Obi, then I think it makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, can I just say something very quickly? Mr. Strong, are you still here?
Very well.
Okay, so let me say this. I never said anything about dictatorship as Peter will be the dictator. No, 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 no. I said this is not what presidential candidates should get themselves involved in. Regionalism. It is not what presidents are elected for. These things are done by the National Assembly. And another reason why I say that it should not be what Peter Obi should be getting himself involved in is, let's understand that we are still in Nigeria. Let the first president who wants to talk about regionalism not be a president that is of Igbo extraction. You know it will be misinterpreted. In fact, that is you giving the APC their best talking points. The entire northern Nigeria will be saturated with, news of, oh, Peter Obi wants to divide Nigeria. And you know that one of the things that northern Nigeria hates so much is talks of division of Nigeria. They don't want it. They will vehemently campaign anybody. They will tell you, oh, what they did not achieve with Biafra, they are planning to do it, you understand, with Peter Obi. And that is the end of the whole thing. Peter Obi should not be the kind of person that should be championing such a thing. If there should be any talk about regionalism, let it originate from members of the National Assembly. There are ways you can lobby members of the National Assembly on the low. They can go to their constituency and go and test the popularity of such an idea amongst them, right? Let us go to different states and see if this is what the people want. A scale down of the powers of the federal government, you understand? And then, what do you call it? Aligning of power with the regional government more, with the states more. Not Peter will be bringing up such an issue, a discussion. That is the end of his campaign. It will not work. You understand? It will not work. You see that we still don't understand exactly the kind of game we are playing in this country. And as APC, is the way APC behaves. APC has no boundaries and no filter. They will use anything and everything against you to destroy you. Look at how they used, what do you call it? Peter Obi being a Christian against him in the north. That is what they used against him in the north. Selling the Muslim ticket, which got many of the northerners to vote the ticket. And in the south, they were selling tribalism. You understand? This is the game that the APC plays. And I think anybody that wants to engage the APC, especially now that the APC has become more powerful than it used to be, should be much wiser and know how to align properly. Let's leave this talk of regionalism. This can be done if ever somebody gets to power and finds a way to lobby, to talk to the members of the National Assembly, to bring this thing up. At the end of the day, a regionalism will be a discussion for the people, for the masses, not the president. The masses will have to go on ballot and then through a referendum or plebiscite and say, this is what we want as a people, and their representative will take it to the National Assembly and debate on it. But let's not make it a burden for Peter Obi. I think the man is already burdened enough, and you can clearly see that the odds are against him, because as he starts today, he's working on eggshell. Anything he says will be misinterpreted on purpose and used against him. If he says something, that's why I keep saying, leave this matter of Rufai alone. I don't think Rufai is going to run in any ticket. This is going to hurt Peter Obi's campaign. Don't be surprised that a lot of these people come into these spaces and record these things, trying to get you off balance to see what people will say about Rufai, and they will go and sell these things to the middle belt or other places when the campaign comes. And look at what they were saying. They are comfortable with Rufai. Are you going to trust these people? And people will prioritize their own survival over anything. So please, that's just what I'm saying. Bikon, I beg. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Grandmaster. Hannah too, please go. Once you're done, we can go to Tize. So Hannah to go on.
Thank you very much. What a difficult submission to make
Hey,
after
is this the Hannah 2
Grandmaster.
where I submit with this? Hey,
Yes,
Hannah 2.
my brother.
Hey, now
In
you with
fact, it
this.
was when I saw you on this space, I said, no, no, no,
Where
no,
have
no, I
you
have to
been? How's
hear this.
family?
My brother, I'm fine. I thank God for everything. We just have to go back to our life grinding and hustling. So, but we still day on this matter. We still day. We still day. We will still push in any little way we can. Thank you very much. Thank you. And it's always so good listening to everyone. Greetings to everyone on the space. I'm grateful. I am happy to have this conversation here. Because many other spaces that I've heard this conversation has given me huge concern, to be honest. And so anybody who doesn't know, if you go on my timeline, you'll see you already know my answer to this conversation about El Rufai. But let me speak differently. Let me give a disclaimer that first of all, I don't have intel. One, two, I don't have the answers. I might be wrong, but this is how I feel as someone from the middle belt and from someone who has seen politics played that way, but I've always tried to see things from a national point of view and not just to see things from a myopic point of view that will only serve my region. I try to see it from an open point of view. So I wanted to put that up front before I talk about this particular issue. Just cutting a bit from what Grandmaster said about, what APC is doing and all of that are making Peter Obi walk on eggshells. That is exactly what is already happening. Because for the first time in the movement, I'm seeing we look so scattered as if we don't even know what the issues are. As if we don't know. I'm like, is this obedient? Is this key obedient? Is this who obedient? As if like headless chickens running up and down, as if there's a panic. Meanwhile, look at Peter Obi's demeanor. There's no panic. You hold the ace card. They know you hold the ace card. I can't even explain this more than anything. There's no panic. Honestly, believe me, there's no panic. Why do I say so? They want us to panic like this and think, oh my God, so what next? We have to get it. 2027 is the only time. Is this? When you see people pushing you to panic like that, they know that they want to get you off course. And this is exactly one of the things. Bringing up this whole El Rufai thing, I smiled To even the point where people will say, is it because of the things he did as governor? Is it because of the I ask myself a question. I say, when we started this election campaign for Peter Obi, one of the things I gained from Peter Obi is the first politician that I've vouched for, I've run around for and be screaming Peter Obi. For one reason, not because of anything. I've never met him before. If I meet him, I'll be happy, but it's not on my bucket list. The point is, this man, look at his policies. Look at what he says. Look at who he is as a person. Put that side by side by El Rufai. We're not even talking, this one, we're not talking about saints. It's not about who is a saint, who is a devil. Put them side by side. The two men are intelligent men. They can work together as politicians. That one, they can be political workings here and there, but not president, vice president. That's one I wanted to mention. Two, in the North, when you talk about someone coming out for politics, till today, in Kaduna, go and ask El Rufai where his family come from. Where is his village? That's how far politics goes local. It's not. They say in Nigeria, they say if you want to know your true history, your family, where you come from, either run for politics, plan to get married, or you die or something like that. There's that kind of saying like that. That's how bad it is for El Rufai. When El Rufai became governor, the first time he became governor, please, people that are northern people, if you know anybody in Kaduna, whether Igbo, Yoruba, call them and ask them, El Rufai's first election, who were the people that voted for him? It was non-indigenous people, because they believed in his policies. They saw what he did in Abuja, thinking that he will be neutral to all. He's all about business. He's all about industrialization, this and that. The emirs of Zazzau, the rulers and all of that, they didn't support him. So when he came into power, he knew that in order for him to be able to get a second term, he had to prove a point. Look at his children, look at his family. They are not as as how should I put it? As whatever it is that he tries to prove, he's just trying to prove a point, because he's trying to reach out to a particular voting bloc, that Buhari's voting, that thick, very religious voting bloc. He's trying to dig into them, but he hasn't gotten to them. That was why he hung on to the cloak of Buhari like anything, just like anything. But now, when there's none of that, where will he go to? He couldn't even get the governor that he got into power. Is because everybody wanted. There was no other choice. It was that one. Why couldn't he give Tinubu Kaduna, even with everything? So these are some of the things we're talking about. Then in the North again, there's no candidates that will come out from the North that does not have the blessing. There are key people that, no matter how much we do whatever and all of that, there are key people. Then let me, I don't want to drag on one point, because there are also other things I wanted to raise. I wanted to also tell people who are doing Rufai, let me tell you something. You see that word called patience? In Hausa, it's called Hakuri. I'm tempted to believe that word is even, first of all, a Hausa word before it was translated to English. The Hausa man has Hakuri. There are many sayings about Hakuri. The Hausa man is very patient. Let me tell you, they can be patient for another 4 years. They're not desperate. We are the ones trying to prove a point that we don't want this whole cycle of, wait until it's your time. We are the ones trying to prove a point that there's a man right now that can change Nigeria, that will be of benefit to everyone. That's the message we should be preaching. And not coming now to come and be talking about pedestrian conversations like APC people and all of that. How were we able to win the hearts of people in 2023? It was because we rose above the conversation. We brought out Peter Obi's profile. We rose it, whether they want to deny it or not. We raised the bar. We said, no, Nigeria has quality leaders. We're not going to be doing, in the absence of fish, manage frog. This is bigger than a regional matter. This man, he is a Nigerian through and through, and he has the heart of Nigerian. So right now, why is it that in 2027 we're going down to the pedestrian conversation again and going into, El Rufai? If we agree and we say that El Rufai is the thing that scares APC, then do you know what we're saying? Then we're saying that Peter Obi did not win 2023 elections, and that he should just be the VP to Atiku. Finish now. He should just be because if you say that, oh, El Rufai is the thing that scares APC. If El Rufai is the thing that scares APC, they wouldn't have let him go like that. Tinubu is not a fool. Let me even tell you a little bit of what Tinubu is doing. Do you know the hard time we're going to have in the middle belt? Because our people still think in a pedestrian way. We're going to have a hard time in this election. Some people that just think that, oh, middle belt votes are just in the bag there like that. It's going to be hard. If you know what Tinubu has done in the last 2 years, when I call him, when I hear some kind of conversation, the thing doesn't give me joy because I don't like Greek gifts. I want an honest gift. And I know that I believe that a presidency of Peter Obi will give them. I'm tired of these Nigerian Greek gifts. But that is what Tinubu is doing. All these things. You know what? If you know the kind of appointments he's giving in the middle belt, what Southern Kaduna have been looking for that they have not gotten in years, they got it. They have a FMC. They have university. In my own place in Panshin in Plateau State, there, this FCE has been converted to a federal university. So those are the things that people see. So if we now come again and we're reducing the conversation to that, do you know what? At the end of the day, people are going to be like, you know what? I think the devil we know is better than the angel we don't know. That's not the conversation we want to have. Let me not drag this further. This is my own argument, like from my own side, like I said. Honestly, finally, I just want to say this. Let us follow the demeanor and character of Peter Obi. It's important. I don't have to be like him. I'm not trying to say that we should be how should I put it, like zombies or anything. No, that's the beauty of it. We have hot, we have cold, we have everything. But look at his character. He is the first politician, let me tell you people, first politician of any extraction outside North that has come and talk to different politicians with his dignity. Think about it. Even OBJ, any politician that goes to the North, goes anywhere, goes lying down, rolling, begging. What does Peter Obi mean by, I am not desperate to be the president of Nigeria, but I'm desperate to see Nigeria work? We all know that he wants to be the president, but he's coming with his candor, with self-respect, with all of that. Please, let's not water it down for him. It's not that we don't want to engage with people. At the same time, I don't want to, as if I'm speaking with two mouths or anything. I know that politics, you have to stretch out hand, you have to do this, you have to do that. But there are some things that we cannot be seen as obedience talking before he says they should talk. If Peter Obi gives the go ahead and say, okay, and some of you people be pushing this matter off, El Rufai, let's see how people, that's different. But I know he's not the one pushing it. How can El Rufai just have a free this thing into the camp? No, please, let's have deeper conversations like that. Let's have deeper conversations about how to uproot, what's his name, Yakubu. Let's have deeper conversations about things that will affect our votes, because we won that election. I'm not psyching myself. We know we won that election, and we know that there are deeper issues, whether it's Labour Party, whether it's within the Obedient movement, whether it's whatever, that cost us that election. Those are the things that we should be talking about. If you allow me to go on, I'll keep ranting. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, thank you, Hadatu. Nice submission. So, Tize, you can go on now.
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, Hanato have said most of the things I wanted to say, but let me just add voice to some of the things that maybe she could have skipped, or maybe I could not get it when she was making her presentation. I think we are really going behind. Let's up our game. Issue of El Rufai, please, let's bury it. Let's leave that for another conversation. In as far as we believe that Peter Obi is our principal, first, let's wait. We in the north, I'm in Borno State from Adamawa State. I know what is happening on the ground. The masses, yes, they are with Peter Obi. The structure, the establishment might be against him. That is fine. But I can tell you, if we can continue our game like 2023, before this election, you'll be shocked. But may I also remind you guys that Tinubu understands this very, very, very well. If you don't know, or if we have forgotten, Tinubu is doing everything within his means to make sure that Northwest, North Central, Northeast, and then some part of Northeast, Northwest, because this is where Peter Obi went overwhelmingly, and he knows. And it is not about money. Remember, he did not give us CC. Let me tell you one thing. We might be ignorant in terms of a lot of too much grammar, but in the north, we can collect billions from you and still refuse to vote you. Let me just tell you, let me be frank and open to you guys. Peter Obi does not even have the money to convince the north, but we have seen his character, his capacity, what he can do. So it's not about all this incumbency power. I can tell you, Tinubu is rolling out, he's giving out billions. We see it. Some of us are even getting the billions. But I can tell you, when it comes to the vote, we are going for the person that we have seen. So now it will be disservice and dishonesty and wickedness if we, the obedient, start to push things like people that cannot even look at the north and get 200 votes from them. I don't want to mention name because I agree with Hanatu that there's nothing wrong in Peter Obi having a conversation with anybody, including even Shakao if he so desires. I don't have a problem with that. He can decide to discuss anything. The fact that I have a meeting with Boko Haram does not mean I'm having a meeting with Boko Haram to involve them in my governance. It could just be I'm telling the guys, back up. If you don't back up, if I get into this seat, you will not get any free field day the way you're getting it now. So remember, most of these conversations are done behind the scene. They are not done on cameras. And I just want to remind us, the fact that he has meeting with Rufai does not mean he is saying that Rufai should be his VP or he will be VP to Rufai. In fact, if you don't know, if we decided in our own wisdom to say that he has to take El-Rufai, then it's better off he even takes Atiku to be his president, then he's a vice. That's how worse it is in the north. So guys, please, like I said, I know northerners in terms of politics we are not good in a lot of grammars, but I can tell you in terms of political calculation to the local basics, northerners are top notch. Don't forget, like I said, Tinubu is rolling out dollars, money, appointment, universities, but we know all those are shadows because we know a lot of things that they are even the university that they are saying now that Tinubu gave to Southern Kaduna. We know that that was a university that one individual from Southern Kaduna loot money and built in his name, and the AFCC confiscated that university. Now Tinubu want to use that. That's what he does. He goes in there, look at any small opportunity, paint it with APC or with his governors, and then roll out that divisive discussion. Oh, this thing you haven't gotten for 20 years, if not because of Tinubu, blah, 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 blah. And don't forget, the North Central, which, North Central, that's Kaduna, Benue, all those, North Central, which has the major block of whether you want to call it Christian bloc or you want to call it whatever bloc, that's your business. But as far as we are concerned, that block now, the issue of insecurity that is there, Tinubu is doing nothing. Even though he's pumping money, pumping them with appointment, the people on the ground, as we speak right now, are thinking, should we not? So what I will urge us to do, please, my one plea, can we go out to do grassroots mobilization? Let's leave this talk. Let's go down the grassroots. Go into your villages. Go into the places. Talk to people. Talk to the market women. Engage them directly. Leave the upper things. Leave who should be the vice or the support or the deputy. If you trust Obi, trust him in that capacity. He knows who he can work with. I did not say Erufai is bad though. Erufai can be an obedient. I have no problem with him. But please, let's allow our principal to make certain decisions. Let us go out and continue mobilizing. Let's go out and sponsor program on radio, on any all these send jiggles out. What I expect from obedient now is Those conversations that Peter Obi is making at global stage, can you convert them to Hausa, Fulani, Minchika, Kanuri, Babur, and send them on TikTok, send them on Facebook, send them on radio houses? This is what we need to do. Please, I beg of you guys, I yield.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Tize. I mean, that was awesome. I think Ewoma, it's your time now, so you can go on. I don't know if you can talk.
Can you hear me?
There's submission. Yes, please go on.
Okay, sorry. If you don't mind, can Onyeka go before me? I'll go after him.
No problem. Onyeka,
Okay.
you can go on.
Hey, Omar, this one I set up. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. I have been following the conversation, and as usual, it is a very spirited, real conversation. Okay. They will say that we are emotional, that we don't know anything, but it is all right. If you imagine that you can defeat Bola Tinubu without emotions, then you obviously lack the capacity to analyze situations very well. You need a candidate that will motivate people, spur people up at the basal level. Somebody's mic is open. I think Jesse. So you need, Jesse, you need that kind of candidate that will rally people. They call them fanatical supporters. Okay, if you wish to use that word to describe the support of a candidate that is actually the only candidate you trust his intentions for the nation. Okay, if you want to call them fanatical, that is equally okay. But the point, sorry, Jesse, can you mute your mic?
Okay, sorry.
Can the co-host please help me? Yeah. So the conversation so far, I had hinted to my brother Iwoma before now that if all these rumors, all these tiresome rumors, if all these tiresome narratives remain real or end up being real, meaning that the people that are discussing coalition have intentions of presenting a candidate that is not P2B, meaning if the aim of the coalition is a change of government, change of power, I would quietly pitch my tent, because it means we are going for the path of least resistance as against doing something that will change things and take the nation to a different direction. So if that was what happened or ends up happening, I would not be part of the elections. Okay, I would withdraw from political activities. I had considered, okay, to give it to them by jumping into the APC and, quite honestly, mobilizing everybody around me so we can vote APC massively, since we do not want to build a nation. The reason is that I do not see any difference between Tinubu PLC, okay, and maybe Atiku PLC or any other candidate that we are talking about. It is one and the same thing. Okay, so if we are going to remain in that state, okay, then we might as well continue with Bola Tinubu. But if we want to go a different direction, if we want to build our nation, if we want to become citizens, really, I mean, citizen in its full meaning, not all these, you call yourself a citizen, yet you lack the capacity to decide who will pilot your affairs and your resources, our resources, public resources for 4 years. You completely lack the capacity. It is not, they do not even consider you. And the people will come and defend that and say, no, no, no. So Right now that the charter is everywhere, that, oh, it has to be Obi that would be the consensus candidate of the coalition. I am being very deliberate and intentional with my choice of words here. Okay. Now that it's there, the rumors are saying, oh, that Obi will be the, again, consensus candidate. Because if you start talking about primaries, you are trying to gaslight yourself, and I will not waste my time. Okay. So if all the rumors and the chatters are true, that Obi will be the candidate, can we now talk about this VP thing that seems to be an issue? Virtually everybody on this platform will agree that Osibanjo, okay, and the current VP has shown, has eliminated any doubts anywhere, that the VP is comprehensively irrelevant in the scheme of things. If you go back to 2014, the narrative in the Southwest amongst the political elites was that, oh, don't worry, we know that Buhari is an imbecile, but don't worry, we have Osibanjo. Buhari is a leader that delegates under Idiabo. It was him that was running things. So let us support. We know he lacks. Yeah.
Sorry, Hanato, please, can you mute your mic? Like there's like feedback.
Sorry, it's not from me.
Okay. So if you remember the conversations then, okay, what they were telling themselves or deluding themselves was, oh, don't worry, Osibanjo will be the person in charge, blah, 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 blah. 8 years later, 9 years later, the rest, as they say, is history. Okay, so it has been established that the VP doesn't really matter, that the person in charge and that the person that will continually make the decisions, even when they are dying, remains the president. We have had many inspector generals of many attorney generals who decree and declare that the Nigerian president can rule anywhere. And that is why you see them when they travel, they do not transfer powers and all whatnot. Okay? Shetima, during the campaign, did they not say that Shetima would handle that he's good in security, blah, 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 blah. They have been there 2 years plus, right? List all the areas, all the places that had this insecurity, that now if you go there, you can dance a widow without looking over your head. That insecurity has been cleared. There is no such thing. So the point I am making is this. I would not spend too much time in discussing the VP because I am an Obidient. My mission is to get a President Peter Obi. Okay? I trust Obi to pick a VP that will. I trust his judgment, really. Let us put it that way. If I begin to get second guessing based on rumors, okay, if we begin to make permutations and things like that, we may be opening doors for things that are not there. Okay, we will open doors for things that there are no evidence anywhere that anybody has declared interest in anything, really. Now, I believe that there are many competent northern politicians that will play the role of VP, El Rufai included. Will I want it to be El Rufai? Hell no. There are many reasons I would not want it to be El Rufai, and we can list them like many people have done. However, it would not be my call to make. it will be the call of the consensus candidates, okay? Probably with inputs from the coalition, because it is politics that we are discussing here. If at the end of the day, all the people that have given up their big egos and their individual dreams that they would not even, if all of them come together and now say, okay, we want to win this election, and we suggest and recommend that you pick this particular candidate as VP. Based on if you pick this candidate, we are likely to, it has to make sense. It has to be logical. It has to be objective, and all of us will see it. But until we get to that bridge, I wouldn't let us even be sure that these rumors of Obi becoming the consensus candidate of the opposition or the coalition, that it is even true. Because if it is not true, if they are still beating about the bush, but I don't think they are, really. Anyway, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Yinka. So, Woma, are you ready to speak now?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
ready. Thank you. Yeah, I'll keep it short because I think Oga Onyeka has like ticked a lot of boxes as per regards focus and everything and mind space coming to this. There's something he said that like I will latch on to. He trusts the decision of PO regardless, you know? So I think that's what I'm going to hang on. I don't want to, and the thing that I think it was the person, I think it was Ezekiel, the guy from Borno, talking about mobilizing information. Yes, I think that's what, like, you know, Obidients should spend more time, like we Obidients should spend more time doing. That's why, like, this registration, that conversation yesterday night about the structure and trying to question something, like, it was a good conversation to have because there's a whole lot that needs to be done. How do we get 1 million members in like 3 months? How do we do like registrations, umbrellas, canopies in different places, you know, trying to do all that? Let's leave the politicking for PO and focus on the mobilization, trusting his own judgment. You understand? But like, if it's the real politic of what are the possibilities, because I know that a lot of people have said that you know, they don't want to entertain whatever idea of that, and I understand everybody. There's nobody that will not understand people that are vehemently opposed to such a ticket, you know. So I really can't fault them for not for being on that wavelength. But like, even like the last speaker said, let's not even put some things out there. It's just like when we see some people take pictures with other people, you know, and they paste it somewhere and it looks like something. Meanwhile, it just happened in passing, you know, it was just coincidence. So that mobilization, you know, to get more people, translation of OB content into other, you know, I talked to the last speaker about it, and there are things that people are working on. You know, those things to capture, because look, let me tell you something. The real opposition when it comes to elections, forget about like the furore in 2023 with respect to people that were assertive and came out to support PO. A lot of people still did not come out. I passed 3 football matches when I was going to my polling unit to go and vote. 3. In fact, just 100 meters away from me, some boys were playing monkey posts. I was looking at them like, on I know waiting they happen, maybe some just the. So we still have a problem of, according to statistics, 46% of young people do not think elections are necessary. 46% of young people, Gen Z and millennials and whatever. That's a very big problem. And these people make up 70% of the population. So if a bulk of us are still, you know, because I mean, there are people that I asked, did you vote for election? I tell you, did you vote for election? Babe, while they talk with, hey, babe, what's up? Did you vote in the last elections? No, I was in my house chilling. I heard like there's so many people like that. So for me, if we can focus on trying to make people understand how high voter turnout squashes the machinations of the establishment, and explain how. I mean, people do TikToks and all these things. Like, so there's a way you can go about explaining to people, like, you know, those are the things that I will really, really, really want, because it's the truth. If we come out in our numbers, like if we can do 55%, we have 100 million registered voters. 100 million. How do you say after 100 million, only 30 something million will they come out? Doesn't make any sense. Or 20 something million. There is no way you can rig if 50 million, 60 million Nigerians come out on that day. How many police and army be? That's why just call Oga, say, oh, Oga, this one over me, I know fit. So that is where I will like to, you know, push ahead from. With respect to the VP candidacy, let's leave the politics for the PU and rest. He's going to figure that out. We already trust him this far. So, like, you know, let's leave that politicking. And let's not, like the last week I said, put some people in conversation they're not supposed to be when they say they are trying to test it. Let's just make we leave that side for them. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Omar. So, I think, Jesse, are you ready to speak?
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Hello, am I heard? Am I being heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I would admit, honestly, when I saw the caption, I came in afraid. But listening to, I think, the First Lady and then other speakers, my mind is somehow at peace. Because any tickets that has Rufai and P2B should not even be mentioned at all. There's something that I think the Bible said, this thing ought not to be among you at all at all. You say no. But I think thankfully people who have said something, we are, at least my mind is at peace. Please, I just want to emphasize or draw attention to what the last two speakers have just said. Let us focus our attention on trying to do the grassroots politicking very well. The point this my brother just made on his closing, it will be difficult if you have large voter turnout. It will be difficult for the establishment, however far-reaching their aims may be, to rig the election. And indeed, but another thing we have to also look at, I will also see if we can have a way of pushing or forcing the system to into reforms. Let it not be this issue of server disappeared, server didn't disappear, because at the end of the day, everything still comes out of the table of INEC. You understand? If you can have a system, you can force a legislation that mandates the use of the electronic voting system in such a way that automatically it invalidates any election that we aren't captured. If we can, between now and 2027, push a legislation in this area, or at least make enough noise about in this direction on the social media or using every platform available to show that, because at the end of the day, let us not just go and do work finish. One man sit down and with a stroke of pain, rubbish every effort put in. You understand? So please, I came in because I saw the caption Rufai Obi ticket. I wanted to come and shout, but thankfully, the brothers and sisters who spoke, that is not happening. You understand? So please, I just want to use my small time to see if I can lend my voice to what these brothers have said. Let us focus on actually reaching to the anyhow, and then see for ways to push reforms, to force a legislation on electoral reforms ahead before going into 2027. Because what is going on now, if we just take those, I don't know. Maybe I'm not that much deep into the political state. 2023 was my first thing, my first outing. But for once, I saw a candidate that embodies what a president, what leadership should be all about. I remember I started my registration in Benin. I came to Lagos. I tried. I couldn't. When I went to Ogun State, I did my registration and I was campaigning. I was trying to mobilize everybody around. And it was hard work because a lot of persons have no interest. And you can't blame them. You can't fault them. So if you can correct that, look for ways to reach, convince people to have faith in the system. Let me use that word. Convince people to have, because when you get into any reforms. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Jesse. I think we've been here for hours, like getting to, I think it should be like 6 to 10 hours or so, So, but I mean, if anybody would like to speak, I mean, you can come up, just request the mic and then you can speak. Still here? One minute, we might be looking at ending the space, but it's been like a good run. Alpha will be having the space from time to time. Weekend is when we are free. Everybody works like every other day. For us, me, I'm still at the office. I'm working. Even while I'm still here. So even the weekend that we're supposed to be free, we're still working. So we can only have the space on weekends. So I think, Malam, you can, Batiside, I mean, you can just take the mic and tell us what you want to say.
Yeah, good day, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, bros, is there seeing request? I'm seeing request, but I can't see the person. I seen any
Yeah,
request.
it's Malam. He's here.
Am I audible? Can anyone hear me?
Yes,
I'm
I
talking
can
to
hear
Bros.
you.
Don't be offended.
Okay, yeah. So when I saw the picture, I knew that this kind of species I expected. I know it would start happening. First of all, it just shows I'm happy because if you see the speed and the enthusiasm with which people tend to embrace any semblance of what can kick APC out of power. So that's a positive for, because I remember there was a time Obi and Atiku's picture was also trending, and people already started fighting. It might just be these guys, maybe just an ordinary photo of nothing concerning politics, nothing, all this, you know, I just kind of feel that maybe we are getting ahead of ourselves, but it's good because it shows that we're energized and we can't wait to get rid of APC. Okay. And what I will say, honestly, so that I won't take your time, is that given the performance of Peter Obi in 2023, yes, I know there was a lot of manipulations and all of that. But one thing is clear to me. The Northern Handshake is required. Whether it's going to be Rufai, whether it's going to be Atiku, whether it's going to be whatever. But, you know, we've got to be serious. And we need to understand that we are making an omelette. We need to break some eggs. If you are really, truly interested in moving the needle in 2023, you know, and you are hoping that everything is just going to be 100% the way you want it, you must be joking. Because I've seen the way people reacted when you say, okay, can we Peter Obi deputize Atiku? People say, no, Obi or nothing. Anything people say, Obi or nothing. Blaming the people who have reservations with Rufai for either his utterances or his extremist religious views. Sometimes, you know, sometimes he talks too much. Sometimes, you know, it's vindictive. All of those things are there, and I'm not blaming anybody. But you see, I also do not agree that we should just stand here and just shoot down an option that might seem pragmatic. Because you see, sometimes we might not even be able to influence this now. How many are we? We can just talk, and you know, what will happen will happen. We couldn't stop almost 7 million people from voting for Atiku in 2023. We couldn't stop, yeah, you can say the numbers were manipulated, but we couldn't stop the millions that voted for Tinubu in 2023. Was, you know, it was a surprise that people could even think about voting for Tinubu just based on the campaign he ran alone. Go and watch those videos. It was like a comedy show. And guess what? This is the president, you know, this is the incumbent president today. For me, the lesson I'm taking from there is that no matter what I do, I can only control what I can control, right? If something is outside of my, you know, sphere of influence, I better be open-minded. Okay, I hate El Rufai like mad. I don't even want to see him. But can he improve the odds? This is the question we need to ask ourselves. Can he actually really improve the odds for Peter Obi in 2027? I actually don't know, to be honest, because some people have said, look, he was in Kaduna and then, you know, APC lost while he was working for APC and all of that. So we need to be sincere about, you know, what exactly we want, right? In terms of getting the right handshake that gets the job done. I'm actually open-minded. The one I'm a bit skeptical about is for Peter Obi to be vice president. I think that for me, I'm not, I don't think I'll be comfortable with that. But if Peter Obi leads and the coalition decides that based on their political calculation, this is the best candidate that can deputize him. Yes, you might not like it. In fact, you might say you're not going to vote for Peter Obi. You know, it's a game of numbers. If he loses 5 and he gains 20, that's plus 15. You might be angry. You might hate him. You might want to even scatter everything. Yeah, we'll wrap up now. But it will not change. You know, if that's a strategy that works, then it will not stop it. So I would just say let's be open-minded. And I'm sure I trust Peter Obi. So whatever decision he takes, I'll go. Apart from saying he wants to deputize. If Peter Obi comes and says, look, well, I've looked at everything, this is the best person I'm going with, then I'll trust his judgment. So let's be open-minded. That's what I just wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. So I've been listening for a while now, and the thing is, the submissions have been great, but my own little contribution is, first of all, this Peter Obi and Rufai ticket. See, let me tell you, anything that will make, I've repeatedly said it that for those of us, I think even online and offline, go and hear from people. You will know that Peter Obi and Rufai ticket is a no. Let me tell you, if Peter Obi and Rufai just do ticket, let Peter Obi just consider that he's not. In fact, he will never, and he might never win that this thing, because why? Let me tell you, the whole of the North Central and I voted for Peter Obi will not vote for Peter Obi.
You're not hearing, no. Please.
Can you hear me? Am I audible now?
Yes, you are very.
Am I audible? Okay. So I said the whole of the North Central that voted for Peter Obi will not vote for Peter Obi if Peter Obi and never found the ticket. South also will not want to vote for Peter Obi. There are states in South that will not vote for Peter Obi. And even to the Northeast, places like this, like recently when this I think yesterday they posted because I stay in Taraba, I'm from Delta, they posted this alliance of this talk of this picture of Peter Obi and Rufai together. You need to go and see the comment there on the Taraba platform. Many of them say let Peter Obi just forget it, and that is what is on ground. So we should not use because of game of number. And let me tell you first of all, the reason why many of us are following Peter Obi, it is because of his kind of integrity. He's a man of character and he's a man of competence. So because of politics, and he wants to jeopardize its integrity, why some of us and why some of us are following.
Obie, let me ask you, if it's a Peter Obi Rufai, will you be voting for Peter Obi? Will you be voting for
No,
the ticket?
I will not vote for that ticket, my brother. I will not lie. I'm not voting.
Okay. You will be voting for Tinubu Shetima.
I will not vote. I will sit
right?
I will sit down in my house, my brother.
Let me tell you, in a case where you decide not to vote, that is a vote for Tinubu, right? So
It doesn't
invariably,
matter.
it matters. You're endorsing Tinubu's second tenure by
Yes.
not voting for someone that can oust him.
Yes. I will prefer that, my brother. Because let me tell you, it is better you seize power. It is not just about seizing power, but the people that are involved in the seizing of power. This is what APC did, and we are here now. And you want to go and seize power, even if Peter Obi say is the ticket, my brother, personally, I will not do that. And even this guy said it. I know it's his own personal opinion, just like his own my personal opinion. Dele Farotimi, he said it. He said the only reason why I will not vote Peter Obi 2027, which is my own reason too, is probably Peter Obi is form an alliance with some dubious character. And I know where he was coming from. He said he will not vote Peter Obi on that platform if he form an alliance with people that he is not supposed to form.
My brother, there's no disrespect to Dele Farotimi, right? I mean, but again, the support he gave PO did not give him presidency, right? If he's going to get support from some other people to get presidency, I mean, why will I be bothered? Again, we need everybody to win an election. That's just what it is.
Yes.
Because it's a game of numbers. It's not a game of the good people, right? I hope you know that. Except you don't want to win an election. Except there's another process you want to use, right? If you are looking for numbers, you'll be looking for every number you can get.
Yes, you are right, but Apple, let me come.
There's no bad numbers. in an election. That's just the truth. So you
See,
look for the vote of the majority. It's not the vote of the more good people or more bad people. The vote of the majority of people. So I do not see the reason why you'll be making case for anyway. It's your own opinion. Anyway.
so let me just land for Apple. So thank you very much because like Rufai like that based on some things like that, and he was saying it. Because I think that is the only major thing now. The core Northwesterners, which in case anything goes wrong, they can be violent. We know that. But if it's not on that, if it's presidential bearer one, and secondly, Rufai can work. If Rufai truly loves Nigeria and is not after power, but I support this ticket. We want to work for it. It's fine. It's not going to be a problem. Rufai can be a part of the coalition. But my own is it should not be the vice president because see, let me tell you the reality on ground, whether you like it or not, especially in this North Central, we there are videos now, and you think this guy the alliance that is going to be. And to end up my submission, I will not even want Peter Obi to deputize and Rufai might even want to fight Peter Obi. Let me tell you, I'm just saying this is my personal opinion. But Peter Obi cannot deputize anybody because the boast of Peter Obi as a deputy is going to mean that he's going to be reduced to if say I will even prefer in Nigeria for you to become a vice president, become chief of staff. Chief of staff are more even powerful than the positions of
So, asked my brother, a few questions. When he said, is at the instance of the president, then why are we perturbed at the, possibility of an Rufai being VP? Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I support Rufai being. There will be some discomfort. There will be things we don't like about the ticket that we will vote for in 2027. And honestly, we might have to choose between continuing with this administration and then moving forward. For me, I don't think there should be any reason in this world. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's like giving up on life to decide to do nothing about this current administration. Maybe some of us don't understand, what lies ahead. That's why we are even contemplating the idea I'm concerned. I mean, this is the reason Jonathan was kicked out of power. And this is exactly 10 years. Nothing has improved. And then we have what we have. I know we're not here to discuss the economy, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think there should be anything in this world that would make you consider settling with this administration. If anybody in APC or people who are pushing this administration, if they are listening, they will be comfortable. They already know the weakness. So perhaps they would even find a way now to make sure they encourage this ticket that, okay, we know this will cut the Obidients down in the middle. And then, we end up giving them a lifeline. So that's it for me. Anything that will work, that will help us push this administration out, I will support it. And again, I will say again that we need to be careful and honest about El-Rufai's political capital. If he has enough political capital to make the difference in the North, count me in. I will say it again, count me in. If he has enough political capital to make a difference in the North, to deliver Nigeria to us, what are you talking about? I don't want to. If you like, block me, I don't care. If we find out, if it's established that El-Rufai is actually the missing piece in this puzzle, forget. I will be 200% in support. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you, Malam. So, Hanatu, you want to come in here?
Yes, thank you again for allowing me. Oh my God, I was listening. I said I won't speak again, but you people have made me talk. I have two questions to ask the host, Alfonso, and any other person again who would like to respond. So I do agree that yes, politics is a game of numbers, and it's the numbers that will count. My question is just based on uh, um, predictions now, we don't know, right? Where are El-Rufai's votes supposed to come from? I think those are my two questions because I'm curious. I'm trying to see. I'm not seeing. I'm wondering where are his votes going to come from?
What was the first question? Hanatu, what was the first question?
Where are his votes projected to come from? those votes,
Okay,
the
what's the
votes.
second one?
The second one
What's the
is
second one?
what is his political capital that is so enticing? Yes. Well, what is that political, like
Because I made the argument that he lost Kaduna woefully. In every way, shape, and form, he lost Kaduna. The only victory he had was in the governorship election, and it was marginal, right? And if you add the vote of LP to PDP, he also lost woefully. But again, this is what I think. And Hanatu, I believe, are you from Plateau State? Hanatu, are you from, I
yes,
want to know, are you from Plateau State?
yes.
Okay, will Peter Obi lose votes from Plateau State if Northerners who like Rufai said that he have the capacity to rally the Malams in the north, and they also said that his type of supporters are not in Kaduna because Kaduna is heterogeneous. So he's going to be getting numbers from places like Jigawa, Kebbi, probably Zamfara and Sokoto. So probably I'm not definitely expecting him to win those places, but if he's getting 40% of less than 2% in Kano State, less than 5% in any of these Jigawa, Kebbi, and the rest. So if he's going maybe will not get up to 10% if he begins to lose support from the North Central, which I doubt because the option will be between him and T.O. Rufai and Tinubu Shetima, right? Yeah, Tinubu Shetima is not a better option, right? So I think it will be a 50-50 thing in the North Central or the Middle Belt. So PO can still retain his votes. That is my own projection. Because I can tell you in good faith, maybe in South South, some people, very few people, will say they will not vote PO because of Rufai. But I can tell you in Southeast, I'm 100% sure that PO will not lose a single vote because of Rufai. In fact, he will do better numbers in Southeast because more people will believe he's going to win, and more politicians will rally around his political capital, according to people from the north, is that he will be able to rally
la la la